Yo, what's up, man? What's going on with y'all? Uh, Got to do the stream, man. I've been seeing too much shit. I don't like people talking shit about black men. If we fucked up, we fucked up. But guess who gonna talk shit about us? Me, not any fucking body else, especially a bitch. So I'm making this video to show you guys a couple of things, right? I need you guys to understand, yo, fair use, fair use, fair use. This is Diddy's new shit in the back. He up there with that horse Summer Walker. But yo, anyway, I'm gonna show you some shit from a doctor, right? Right. This dude tells us he's gonna tell you about how he grew up and how black feminism was pushed on him while he was getting his degrees. He's gonna show you how his sister, who went to the same school, was treated better than him, given more opportunity, more chances than him, as him as a black man. And then we're gonna get into this chick that's on TikTok that's getting on my fucking nerves. All these fucking hyenas, man. Yo, this shit'll never end, bro. I think this was all they needed to do was to destroy the black community, was to turn the men against the women. Now we could, instead of wasting our time talking shit about each other and showing each other's faults and flaws, instead of doing that, we could talk about how we're going to get over it. Which what I tried to do. I tried to do that. But these bitches just keep coming, man. So fuck it, bro. Yo, I got I have two sons. Same mother, same woman. I married her, right? I tell them don't dare bring home a black broad, bro. Don't bring them home. She don't like that. But listen, like this broad that's on TikTok and all these other fucking broads that's out there, if they got daughters or nieces or whatever or little sisters and they think like that, they're pushing that shit in those girls' heads. So why would I want my sons dealing with a bitch like that? Exactly. Why should you want your daughter dealing with a fucking broad like that? Exactly. Some of y'all will though. I mean, to each his own. But I know mine's. I'm telling them, listen, man. It stops with you guys. You guys were the last of the motherfucking Wests. So it's going y'all gonna we're gonna start mixed breeding some more. Get some fucking Spanish joints up in here or whatever, man. That's the hell we gonna do. Dominican, Colombian, Costa Rican, fucking Mexican, I don't know, whatever fucking can you could think. I'm about tired of these black bitches, man. It's over. Now, going on to the show, I clicked on something. I ain't even watch it yet because I can't believe what the fuck I saw. So since I'm getting ready to do a stream, I said, you know what? Let me just fucking pull this shit up real quick. See what the fuck is going on. We're gonna watch it together. Pause. Yo, look at what the fuck I saw. You see that? This is by Sean Blazington. I don't know who that is. Uh, he's got a pretty big channel, 433,000 people. So me and my 300, we're gonna go and see what this about. All right. So it says Jeezy caught Jenny Ma with Gucci Mane at his house, comma, full details. It doesn't say whose house. Did he catch it with Gucci Mane at Jeezy's house, or did Jeezy catch her at? I don't think he caught her with Gucci Mane at motherfucking Gucci house, right? Let's see.
Damn, damn.
Broke the
I
internet.
tell you what.
Put that ass in the dirt.
I tell you what.
Smoking on Pookie Load tonight.
I tell you what. I tell you what. This how we gonna do this.
Y'all remember when Gucci said he was smoking on Pookie Lope? Now he allegedly poking on Jeannie Mai. It's funny how things come full circle.
Tranny right there.
Jeezy left this woman, didn't give his fans no explanation. That's why people spreading rumors like Gucci Mane got involved. Now they saying that Jeezy don't know if he the father of his own child. These are some malicious, vicious rumors, and I'm here to put a stop to all of that. But the reason why people running rampant with these type of rumors, like Jeezy and Gucci Mane being involved with the same woman who happens to be Jeannie Mai, they saying that the fans don't know who she really is because she admitted that she got a terrible temper, and that could be one of the
We already
reasons
know
why
that.
Jeezy
What's this shit
decided to
for?
leave
Loves us deep enough, you can press that button and boom, the dragon comes out. And we both have it, so it doesn't change. I want
and become friends. But over the years, they have spoken highly about each other. But now that Jeezy having problems in his marriage,
I saw war. I saw bombing. I saw shooting.
people thinking that it was infidelity on behalf of Jeannie Mai messing with his arch nemesis, Gucci Mane of all people. And you can't say stuff like this don't happen in the entertainment business. Your best friend become your enemy, and then the woman that was supposed to be Jeezy's best friend was behaving worse than his worst enemy by enticing Gucci Mane allegedly to have relations with her, man. Now, Jeezy spoke about the versus battle, and they were supposed to put it all behind.
Man, I'm kind of calling bullshit because I don't think Gucci fucking with. I don't think them dudes is that cool where they even gonna be in the same fucking circle. You know, they had the little beef, they had the little versus shit, cool. So maybe they just left it as, all right, I ain't gonna send nobody to kill you no more. And we leave it at that. You stay on your side of town, I stay on my side of town. That's how I think it played out. So this, I'm about to call bullshit, but we're gonna skim through it and see.
Them, but I don't see how they ever gonna be able to fix this.
It was the best outcome it could possibly be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got two street cats that done been through, a lot over the last decade or so. But it takes Magic City Stage and a multi-billion-dollar company
Right.
to help us come together and figure it out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And for me, it was more about being in the same room because there's so much time and history in between.
And not want to do your diss records.
Because it's integrity, bro. Like at the end of the day, if I was on that type of time, we weren't going to even make it in the building. Like, let's get it cracking. Like, what we doing? We wasting time and money. If it's like that, it's not like I can tell that wasn't the energy he wanted to bring.
Yeah.
He got.
It wasn't
emotional.
purposeful. It just came
He just
out.
got emotional, and he got the right to do that. Like, but that's it, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not. That's who we.
Somehow, some way, Gucci and Jeezy still had a lot of love for each other, and it was good to see them talk in a positive way about each other. And not only was Jeezy saying nice stuff about Gucci, Gucci regretted saying that he was smoking on Pookie Low, but now it's looking like he possibly was poking on Jeannie Mai. So all that stuff he said in this clip I'm about to play to y'all don't add up to nothing now if these rumors are true.
Like, hey, you want to do a versus? Y'all gonna do, I weigh the pros and cons and help your catalog and do this and that. And I said, do it. But I didn't know when I got on the stage that was going to happen. I was going to say that wasn't, I didn't go up there thinking like, I'm bringing negative energy. It's going to be there. It just really came out like that.
But just on some battle shit, you came with round one. You came with the Benchwarmers verse 2. Like, you really came on some battle rap.
It wasn't that I'm trying to tell you. It's not a battle. I'm glad that
Fuck it, man. Fuck this shit right here. Shit don't make no damn sense, man. All right, so yo, check this out. We're gonna get into this shit right here. I gotta calm down because I was a little fucking upset. All right, so now this dude right here that I'm about to show you. First, let me show you the bitch I'm about to go in on. Let me show you the fucking little bird, little fucking hyena that I got spanked real quick. This bitch right here. I want you to see. Now, look at this page, right? Black women, stop birthing your enemy, right? That's a fucking page, right? But look at this shit.
Stay away from Somalians with bricks, and it just dawned on me that he's basically making fun of that lady, that BW that was here with the brick. And that is so funny considering the fact that he literally has a little B girl, a future BW, on the right of him.
Hold on. Listen to this shit.
And see, y'all, I'm about to just go on in because at this
Listen to
point,
this
like,
shit.
yeah, like, I'm not walking on eggshells no more, even to try to spare, like, black women's feelings. I'm just going to go ahead on and say it. This is one of the reasons why I never ever found American black males attractive. Exactly, okay? You lying bitch. When you have this victim mindset, when you are a so-called man slash male group, and you go around constantly talking about the WM man oppressed us, and they took what we built by violence. It's like, oh my gosh, like, we get it, like, we understand that WM are stronger, smarter, more strategic, and have better foresight than you kings of chaos. But do you have to keep reminding us that you all are defeated, emasculated failures? It's like, oh my gosh, why do y'all keep reminding the world that you were defeated and that you were conquered and that you allowed the women and children from your collective to be basically collateral damage in a war that you failed? It's like in that scene of the Players Club when Lisa Ray.
So you hear how this is going, right? You got bitches like this over here talking about beautifully stated. These are young black women that do not like you. You see that? So when I tell you niggas, don't let your kids, your black sons, date the daughters of these motherfuckers, it's a reason why, bro. It's a reason why. Imagine you have a son and he's dating a chick and her mother, and that's her mom, right? Look at this other bitch here, right? Well, damn. They beat their chest about a patriarchy, right? They beat their chest about a patriarchy they didn't build, which oppressed them in the first place, right? So I'm gonna show you something because there's one this is one video I had, and it showed they had a total of 20 that they were able to cover, right? Black communities, thriving communities that were destroyed. Not just the Black Wall Street and Tulsa, Oklahoma. There was shit out here in New York, right? You had Central Park was a black community. Towns in Alabama and like all over, all the fuck over. Uh, that were destroyed by fucking the white man. You understand? They destroyed them. And how they destroy them? How you think? Fucking murder. Some spots were fucking flooded. They put lakes over them. One place put a fucking dam over it. I don't even know how the fuck you build a dam over something. They built a dam. They did all this shit, bro.
Have the stories of 3 African American communities and how racism led to the destruction of those communities. And if you have questions that you would like to ask me, you
That's
can do
Central
so
Park.
at onemichistory.com in the contacts page. Also, if you want to support the channel, you can do so on my Buy Me Coffee on my Patreon page in the description below. Don't forget to give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and support the YouTube channel. But without further ado, let's get started. Did you know that before there was Central Park, there was the primarily African American community of Seneca Village? 1825, white farmers John and Elizabeth Whitehead divided up their land into 200 parcels and sold them. Andrew Williams, a 25-year-old African-American shoe shiner, purchased the first 3 lots for $125. Epiphany Davis, a store clerk, bought 12 lots for $578. Additionally, an African-American Methodist Episcopal Zion Church purchased 6 lots. This marked the beginning of Seneca Village, an African-American community that grew quickly over the next few years. By 18...
All right, hold up. Pause that real quick. Because, hold on, fellas. I found the video I was talking about. All right. So when these bitches talk about, oh, you nigga, after slavery, there were many fucking communities that they rebuilt, bro.
During segregation, and at least 200 of them were established by 1888. But as time passed, many of these communities disappeared from the map, completely erased from history. You may ask, how is that even possible?
200. So when these fucking broads come up there because they don't know shit, they just regurgitating the fucking ass wipings of the other bitch that was talking. You can let them know, nah, there was like fucking 200 of them shits that they flooded and killed people with. They always say, oh yeah, black man, pick yourself up by your fucking. That's what the fuck our ancestors did. Yeah, but these bitches say, oh yeah, they never did.
Why were these towns deliberately hidden and erased? And what can we learn from this dark and troubling part of American history? In this video, we will reveal some of the major black towns now hidden underwater or transformed into something else, and their black inhabitants displaced. The first is the Seneca Village in New York City. Seneca Village, a once thriving African-American community, was established in 1825 on the outskirts of New York City at a time when African-American residents and were forced to leave their homes to make way for the park's construction. The community was disbanded. The story of Seneca Village serves as a reminder. The way to do that is by supporting black-owned businesses.
60 bucks is the fastest. Like we have every you name it. People is without proper.
Over the past 6 months, we have been investigating as well as exposing the truth behind all of these food processing plants.
Lodja in Alabama. Lake Martin is a beautiful destination in Alabama, famous for its crystal clear waters, boating activities, and stunning sunsets. However, the lake has a dark history that few people know. Underneath the tranquil waters of Lake Martin lies the ruins of Kowalja, a once thriving African-American community founded in the late 19th century. Kowalja was established by John Benson, a formerly enslaved person who had purchased thousands of acres of land in Alabama and sold it to other African-American families. The community grew and prospered with its black-owned railroad and was home to the Kowalja Academic and Industrial Institute. This school provided education and vocational training to African-American students. The school helped prepare generations of African-American students to succeed in a world often hostile to them. Unfortunately, Kowalja's success was short-lived. The rise of the Ku Klux Klan and a lack of economic opportunities for African Americans in the area led to the community's decline in the 1920s. By the 1950s, the once thriving community had all disappeared. In the 1960s, the Alabama Power Company purchased the entire land to build a hydroelectric dam, which led to the creation of Lake Martin. The loss of Kowalja was a devastating blow to Alabama's black community. It is just one of the many mind-boggling examples of how black communities in America were systematically destroyed and forgotten throughout history. Despite this erasure, efforts are being made to preserve the memory of Kowalja and hosts events celebrating Kowalja with human activities. Oscarville in Georgia. Lake Lanier in Georgia is a popular destination for weekend getaways, attracting visitors. In September, 2 alleged assaults against 1,000 residents were displaced once stood. The Forsyth County hit search of work as the demand for labor increased, devastating consequences. At its peak, Vanport housed 40,000 residents, with 40% of them African American. Unfortunately, in 1948, disaster struck the city when the Columbia River flooded the neighborhood. The floodwaters destroyed the town within a day, displacing over 18,500 families, more than a third of whom were black Americans. The aftermath of the flood exposed the systemic racism that existed in Oregon. White supremacists attempted to keep black Americans out of the state, and the state legislature passed laws to preserve the state predominantly white. The Oregon Black Exclusion Laws restricted black people from owning property or settling in the state, a practice.
Oregon Black Exclusion Laws. They did us so wrong, and they taught our bitches how to do us wrong, man. They taught these broads how to do us wrong, and they continue with the fucking hammer to destroy us, right? Now, I ain't gonna go back to that little bitch right now. But this brother right here is about to tell us how shit kicked off where he was at. This is We Need to Talk, Fair Use. It's titled Send This to Black Women and Girls Who You Love. All right. Listen to this shit.
Gender. And so if we just learn black feminism, we would know enough and we'd be good. There have been ideas about black boys and men that have become very popular, especially after slavery, right? Ideas that made black boys and men into monsters in the minds of people, right? Unfortunately, those ideas never went away. They've only snowballed in the last century. So Black male studies attempts to study, analyze, and explain where these ideas came from, what problems they cause, and how they damage to this day how black males are seen, even to the.
So, black male studies, right? That's a thing. And they show how society looks at us, right? And just like I told young kids, I told my nephews, I said, yo, listen, you guys is nice and cute and shit now. And, when motherfuckers see you, they're like, oh, he's getting so big, he's so handsome and shit, right? You cute now, right? That cute shit run out when you get about fucking 10 to 12, that cute shit runs out. Now they start looking at you a little different. You start to look more like your father. You're starting to have your own personality that reminds them of your fucking father. You're starting to have your own little masculine ways that pop out every now and then. And they're starting to look at you different. By the time you fucking 15, maybe even 13, by the time you fucking 13, 14, 15, bro, they're going to start looking at you like you ain't going to turn out to be shit. They're going to start looking at you like you're problematic. They're gonna start looking at you like this nigga probably gonna be living off of me forever. They're gonna start looking at like they used to fucking kiss your feet when you were a fucking baby, bro. You used to run around the house and throw shit on the house, and they was okay picking it up. They just smiled. Now they cursing you out, telling you get the fuck up, pick that shit up, and da 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 da. And they said you ain't got no maids. Bitch, you was my maid for the last fucking 10 years. Now all of a sudden you ain't my maid no more. They're looking at you different, kid. You ain't the same motherfucking young baby boy no more. Now you start to remind them of your fucking daddy. Right? Now, if you're lucky and your daddy is in the house, they still gonna look at you that way. Now they're gonna look at you as like you siding with your daddy. By the time you're 16, 18, they gonna now they girlfriends or they whoever come by, they say, oh, how's he doing? Well, but what's he doing now? If nigga, if you ain't in school, if you ain't a fucking in college, if you ain't fucking working, doing something, nigga, they gonna start saying that you ain't shit. Your own fucking flesh and blood. Dead ass.
This is where the pathologizing of males really starts to pick up. In elementary school, it's a little more subtle, especially before elementary school, very subtle, right? There's data to show us that teachers start to see boys as not so cute, not so innocent, even as young as 4 and 5 years old. Now, if you want to push that up to 8th grade through high.
Oh shit, I didn't know it was that motherfucking young. Oh well, I was talking about your own parents. Maybe the motherfuckers in school might stop liking you then.
high school. Now you're in an environment where you have teachers that see you as an outright threat, not only in mainstream society and media, but even teachers that see you as teachers start to see boys as not so cute, not so innocent, even as young as 4 and 5 years old. Now, if you want to push that up to 8th grade through high school, now you're in an environment where you have teachers that see you as an outright threat, not only in mainstream society and media, but even in your schools and even in your families.
Come back and get credit for the work you've put in at Purdue Global. With your experience and...
I had a conversation with my mother about a week ago, and she was mad at me because I remember telling her years ago, I said there was a clear-cut difference in how my sister, who's 3 years younger than me, and myself, how we were treated in schools. So we went to the same high school. At that time, 16-year-old Muslim. You know, I was pretty political, kind of militant, but not in any kind of organized way. I just read. I read a lot, you know. So I had, I had this kind of, I was learning about racism. I was starting to really kind of see how this worked. This is early 90s, so this was popular at that time, and it was more accessible. So I knew people for a good few years, teachers, administrators, students, and yet and still I had teachers that would not sit in the same room with me alone. I couldn't go to after school meetings. They had to meet with me in hallways. This went all the way on through graduate school. I had, professors that would only meet with me in public spaces. Like, I'm going to get to grad school and rob you, which makes no sense. But that was the kind of perspective that I remember dealing with. Those same teachers helped my sister with computers.
That's the, we're going to pick up where he just left off. They treated him like shit, looked at him like he was fucking Jack the Ripper. But his sister, they taught her how to use computers. They did all this cute girly shit for her, right? But damn, what am I about to say? Damn. Fuck, forget it.
They got her computers. They had they helped her figure out how to navigate community college.
Oh yeah, he's in fucking grad school, and he can't have meetings. And they wouldn't meet him in a private location because they thought he was gonna, like, he was just this fucking monster, right? Oh, now I remember what I was about to say. That's the same way black women treat you, bro. Like, you gonna do something to them bitches, man.
To graduate early. I had never even imagined you could graduate high school early. Do you know how much earlier? If I had known you could do that, I didn't even know it was an option. They had friends that went to a major university that she later got into that helped her navigate that. These were the same teachers that would not speak to me, right? So when you have a black boy with some degree of talent, outside of sports, who's willing to support him? Who's willing to invest in him? First teacher I ever had that invested anything in me was like my senior year of college. Was a black male professor who came and started the Africana Studies program. I think he came like in the middle of my junior year. So we got close in my senior year, and that was the first teacher I ever had that saw potential in me. And so he asked me, so what are you gonna do when you finish here? I said, well, I got a hookup. I'm gonna go work at UPS. And he just kind of looked at me and he was like, no, you need to do something else. And he picked up the phone. He made a call to Temple University. A few months later, I'm standing. It's something that I think their humanity, in some respects, is at least regarded before the board. Not this person is a good candidate. Or
all right, I'm fast forward into the parts that I want you to see that are important, and this is another part.
They finally changed the definition. They found that men were just as likely to be sexually victimized, aggressed, and raped as women on a whole set of different terms. But now that means.
Now, how many fucking cases are we seeing of these bitches raping these fucking 13-year-old, 14-year-old boys, getting pregnant by them? And these hoes don't go to jail, man. They don't go to jail. The last one I heard, the chick raped the kid in her car. He got her pregnant, right? And then they're like, oh, she's gonna get, she's like on house arrest or whatever the fuck it is. But when she has that baby, when he turns 18, he's gonna have to pay child support. But guess what? He's gonna have to pay back child support. So how the fuck you starting back from 5 years of child support, bro? How you paying back pay of 5 years of child support when your teacher molested you, took advantage of you, but they're gonna make her pay the shit? So how is that even like how is that even fucking fair?
Means you have to learn about not only how men experience it differently, but what female aggressors look like. And so black male studies is not consulted in a lot of these discussions. Matter of fact, I just had a graduate student from Chicago point out to me how his program actively pushes black male studies out of the discussion. He told me the minute he introduced the concept of anti-black misandry in his dissertation analysis, he had to change his entire committee because they were.
Now, now that sounds like some fucking shit that white supremacist does. Oh, you want to talk about how white people are holding black people down? No, yeah, but he's talking about how black misandry is fucking keeping us back. The hatred of black males of masculinity. That's what misandry is. It is misandry. But misogyny was so big, motherfuckers didn't even know what the opposite of it was. Misandry is the opposite of misogyny. Everybody that was a buzzword. Misogyny. Misogyny. Yes, he's a misogynist. He's get the fuck out of here. But
refused as feminists, male and female, to participate in a dissertation that even acknowledged that there's such a thing as anti-black misandry, meaning the hatred of black men, right? Which, if you never heard of the concept, is pretty straightforward. I mean, we've heard about this, we just never called it that. If you think about a lynching, right? Many of the lynchings that took place for black men were on the basis of the accusation that they sexually violated often a white woman, right? So this meant that those black men.
This image is what these motherfuckers want right here. This is what these motherfuckers want right here, man.
Had fought that other girl, had beat the other girl, and the other girl came out, and Bernie Mac asked her, he was like, did you, we get it, like y'all weak, like y'all been crying about the same stuff for centuries, y'all are nesting in another man's system while simultaneously blaming that man for your failed existence. It's like, just be quiet at this point, sit in a corner and just be quiet and be grateful that you are even allowed to be here.
This is what they think of you. If whoever's watching this video right now, if you made it to this mark, the 33-minute mark, that's what they think of you, man. That's what these black bitches think of you. Look at this shit. Her whole page. Look, this is supposed to be Kevin Samuels. You understand? But I will tell you this. What's the other shit? They telling these bitches, oh, go date out. Don't date black men. Look at how they.
Homies over hoes, homies over hoes, homies over hoes, homies over hoes, homies over hoes.
I don't fucking know what the hell this bitch is doing here. But her whole page, you could pull up article after article after article about fucking the shit that that black men have done. All you gotta do is just look on it. Look at this shit.
Oh, no, 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 no.
See, this is why I tell you motherfuckers. This is why I go off on these motherfuckers. This is why I make videos saying if you not gay, nigga, don't act like you fucking gay. Because there's not enough of us straight fucking men out here in the fucking media. And you up here acting like you fucking gay. You fucking sucker. You know what I'm saying? like it's not too many of us that are standing up and fighting for us. But you could do all this shit, all you fucking want, bitch. But you know what? Your page is a whack ass current event page, bitch. And they only put bad black people shit up there any fucking way. But this is what she wants, man. Her, Cynthia G, all these fucking black bitches. This is what they want to see you and your kids, man. This is what they think of you. Bitch gonna tell us to go sit in a corner. You know, it's so funny when they say shit like that and they swear that they're independent when their whole civilization was based off of getting a handout from the fucking white man. Their whole civilization. They turned in they turned in family and all of that shit for goddamn food stamps. That's what they did, bro. And they continue to do it. And you know what my man is about to tell you right here? He's about to tell you how the black feminists, females and bitch ass nigga males, were teaching this shit in college. So the women that go to college, they're getting this type of education that are telling them that black men are doing shit to black women and black men ain't shit and all of that. They're telling these bitches that shit. So now when they graduate and they get a decent job, some of them, listen, only 9% of women make over fucking 70,000 any damn way. But that 9% are being told, yo, the black man ain't shit. So now they coming out, they go, this nigga ain't shit. He ain't even go to college. He this, he that, he that, he that. And they have this fucking shit in their fucking in their head. So they're brainwashing the bitch before she even gets out of school, before she even meets you at that fucking after work spot down there on Wall Street or the Upper West Side, where all of the fucking hospital people are at and shit like that. Before the broad even fucking meets you, she had this shit in her mind, and they put this shit in their head, bro.
Men, often without due process, right? They would be brought into this kangaroo court and then shortly after by a mob taken out and hung, burned alive, tortured, so on and so forth. All of that took place on the basis of two premises. They were black and they were males. Well, three really, and they were heterosexual, or at least their crime was heterosexual, right? So we're talking explicitly about heterosexual black men being murdered on the basis of being heterosexual black men. Right? That's what anti-black misandry focuses on. This hatred of black men and boys has been palpable. It's been there the entire time, but how much attention we actually give it is a whole nother question.
All right. And the last and final one I'm going to show you is this. This is the bulk of what I want to show you.
On terms beyond how they're framed in feminist contexts, right? So you have white society being the ultimate basis of racism, and in the feminist mind, black men double down on that to oppress black women that much more.
You hear that? Now, I need you to understand that. You got white racism, right? And these broads were being told that black men picked up white racism and is oppressing black women with it. How the fuck were they ever oppressed by a black man, bro?
Black male studies is saying no, actually, that stereotype of black men doubling down and being these aggressive patriarchal oppressors is a myth. It's a myth, and in many respects, and again, shout out to Tommy Curry, he did a lot of the work on this himself. He actually looked at the scholars who published, the black female scholars who published these ideas, and he shows you where they pulled the ideas from. Not just where they got the ideas, where they cited the ideas. Like they, in the book, like Bell Hooks' works and so on, they're citing, well, Bell Hooks is not known for citing, but other black feminist scholars who are actually citing racist white scholarship about black men. That's the basis for a lot of these ideas about black men being oppressive patriarchs that these women are getting in college. And so these colleges are mass manufacturing black women who are coming out with high degrees mixed with a great deal of misandry, and the two have become inseparable. And the outlook on men gets worse by the time these young women go through college, even if they haven't interacted with very many black men. I've witnessed that as well. And I get men reaching out to me all the time. But I've also had to sit on multiple dissertation committees because I have graduate students who are being threatened that they will not be able to finish their degree because they've decided to focus on black men, especially from a black male standpoint. But it's basically this idea that you're not on the same level. You're not capable of the same kinds of things. And because of that, you're kind of either a problem.
Ain't that what that bitch just said in the video? Just sit down like you're not capable, they're stronger than you, they're this and that, and that, they're smarter than you. Yeah. Ain't that what that bitch just said?
Or something to be sheltered from the world sometimes. That's one expression where you see a mother, kind of shelter her son. By the time he gets out there, he's really unprepared. You see those kind of dynamics. But in one way or another, black boys are kind of seen as a problem, even within families. And so what the girls are given in many ways is a sort of preparation for leadership, an expectation for higher achievement, college degrees, white collar employment, starting businesses. They're kind of being socialized for that kind of dynamic. They don't really know what to do with the boys in many respects, even when the boys have talent outside of sports. I mean, if it's sports talent, that's pretty straightforward. People know what they're going to do with that. But if he's intellectually gifted, you'd be surprised how many men report to my channel about being the intellectually gifted one in the family and the women not knowing what to do with him, not investing him in the same kind of ways. And he ends up just kind of going off to the side. These are the kind of things that are happening, and I think it's causing a problem. Part of it is if you go to the boomer generation, right? This was really the last generation of women who at least were raised to be wives, but they didn't want to be. I mean, this is right, I'm talking about sexual liberation era.
Boom. They didn't want to be. The last generation of women who were raised to be wives, taught to be wives, didn't want to be. Women's liberation. They didn't want to fucking be wives and shit no more. Look at these bitches on the fucking front line. Women's liberation. What did you need to be liberated from? Free our sisters. Political prisoners. Political prisoners. Free our sisters. Women's liberation. They didn't want to be in the house and shit no more. They didn't want to be traditional. They didn't want that no more.
Talking about the era where, the rise of feminism.
Depression. Guess what? I'm going to therapy. Okay.
They wanted to, break apart from the established roles that women were told to play as wives, right? Caretakers, handling the
Shit. I'm trying to screenshot this shit. Hold on.
domestic space, so on and so forth. But the weird part is, even though they wanted to break from that, they still wanted men to play the traditional role that we've been assigned. So you're still supposed to be protector and provider. But in the 70s and 80s, you started to see this transition where women wanted to be.
Look at this fucking idiot. Only one up there holding a fucking sign. Look at all of the white chicks like, look at her. What's she doing? These motherfuckers said they don't even giving a fuck. They don't even care. They out there about to smoke some weed. Here go this nigga right here.
Able to break the contract and be whatever they wanted. Sexually liberated, have kids, adopt, have abortions, not have kids, whatever, work full-time, part-time, not at all. They had all of this. They were kind of trying to imagine the family in this new dynamic where women could have the flexibility to do anything, but the men still had to pay for that. So you had to be the floor for whatever she wanted to be. And the problem with that is the dynamic between men and women in the typical, conservative, relationship framework is it's a give and take between both. You're protector and provider, but you're still depending on her to do her part. She's providing for the house, taking care of the children, so on and so forth, but she's depending on you to do your part. When one redefines their role, the other has to as well. But there really hasn't been a conversation for that outside of what those women said. By the way, not only should you protect and provide, but you should be emotionally present. You should make me feel affirmed. You should do X, Y, and Z. So it became the only changes men were told about were the changes women wanted that suited them, but not necessarily the changes that made it possible for men to actually be human beings and fulfill who they wanted to be. So there was a one change dynamic outside of a couple of recommendations that really didn't and never were about men's humanity. And this is what's been going on for the last 40 years. And I think it's reached a head that where men are in many ways checking out of the contract, whether it's, going into monkhood or whether it's passport bros. I'm meeting 14-year-old boys who are monks. And we've heard this, we just don't call it monkhood. The video games, the kids who check out, there's more to it than them being lazy or them not feeling like working hard.
Shit. I ain't even think about that, yo.
Don't see the reward. They don't see the benefit. Women and girls, especially even girls, they see the benefit because, again, going back to that boomer grandmother, she taught her daughter, these are the things that, I've done these things to be a mother, but I don't want you to have to do these things. I want you to be independent. I want you to have your degrees. I want you to do so on and so forth. That was the Generation X women. Those are the women I grew up with. That's the generation of women that required 6 figures back in the 1980s. That was you need to be over 6 feet tall, 6 figures, own a car, own a house, and then maybe we'll respect you. And because a lot of those women were being brought into white collar spaces, they actually talked to you like it was an interview. They were very business minded because that was the space they were being brought into. So they brought that to the relationship and they measured men along those lines. And then when you get to further generations after Gen X, those ideas only snowballed in many ways in terms of, what roles women wanted to play and what they imagined. That conversation wasn't really happening with men. We didn't have a shared space to outside of like the barbershop to really even communicate these ideas. So it took until you had free, cheap social media for men to actually start. And this is where you get Manosphere 1.0 and 2.0. You get men who are on their phones, having conversations. And it's like, well, my wife cheated on me. We have 2 kids. We got divorced. She got half of everything plus child support. And I'm living in my mother's garage. And then you got another guy in Chicago that says, well, same thing happened to me, except she slept with my brother. And then you got another guy, in Texas, it's like, wait, same thing. So you have men comparing notes for the first time and sharing information like, well, wait a minute, I know it's happening, but I kind of thought it was almost an isolated thing, but it's happening to more and more. So now you get more and more men coming in, sharing stories, and it starts to grow and it starts to build. This is not something that was cultivated or supported by any organized corporate governmental, none of these platforms that we've seen women come through, whether it was in pop culture and media where we had films coming out or whether it was talk shows in the 80s and 90s. Men didn't get any of that. Men pretty much just started. The closest you got from that with that was hip hop and comedy. Eddie Murphy in Raw talking about Johnny Carson's divorce, where he's losing half, was a pivotal moment. I call it a black masculinist turn. It was one of many where you have this moment where men are like, oh, that means I can relate to that. You had to wait until artists or somebody in the public eye could articulate it for you. By the time you get to, the manosphere, now you have men that are contributing, and it's not all good. Some of it's going to be rough as hell. Some of it is going to be offensive, all of that jazz, even to other men. But it's a space where you finally have men making their own contributions, sharing their own experiences, and trying to measure out how much of this is actually happening beyond me.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's like me. That's why when I see shit like that little bitch put up there, I go crazy on these motherfuckers, man. I don't like them. Right? Now, she'll be up there, these bras be up there talking about, oh, men make fucking babies and this and that, and 69%, whatever fucking bullshit stat. Listen, man, I got a stat. I got a fucking stat for you, man. Right here. These bras keep fucking niggas like this, man.
On some about shit, you feel me? I told you I'm printing this shit. For real, for real.
That's a lot of mouths to feed, bro.
I ain't tripping. I'm printing this shit.
Yeah.
Who wrong
14
here, him
kids.
or the women?
I think you had 10 last time he was on here.
14 plus.
14 plus?
Yeah.
Good old.
I take you ain't done, is it?
Let me ask you a question. You got one dude, 20, maybe you got 20.
Hey, look.
Look at the old.
I'm gonna be real. You wanna be real?
Come on, be real with us.
Nah, I ain't done. I ain't done.
And he says he's not done. Now that when you add motherfuckers like this, Nick Cannon, the dude that got 7 kids, 7 baby mamas, and, all these motherfuckers, the dude that got 34 kids, all of these motherfuckers that have all of these kids, right? So you got one irresponsible dumb motherfucker, but you got 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 irresponsible stupid bitches that let this nigga dick spit nut all up in their fucking stomach, and then they keep the baby. I don't understand why you keep a nigga baby who got 5, 6 kids already, let alone 22. Why? Then they say, oh, the fatherless kid rate is crazy, and it's these fucking men. Dumb bitch. Y'all dumb hoes keep fucking the same nigga making mad babies. It's like a factory. You go in, you get injected, and you go. Next one come in, get injected, and you go. Next one come in, you get injected, and you fucking go. And you put the baby out. And then you go and say, oh, all black men, all they do is just make babies. Stop fucking them, stupid. Stop fucking them. Even what's the boy name? Tamar? Tamar went and got her a white dude. Nigga got 4 baby mamas. Come on, bro. Come on. Like, I don't understand these motherfuckers, B. But they'll talk shit about us. They'll talk sweet shit about us. You remember this?
I 100% disagree. And I'm going to show you. So coincidentally, it was like this trend going around on Facebook for women to drop pictures of their deadbeat baby daddies. And so let's just go through a couple of them and see if any of them gave active father. Let's just play a game, okay? So what about this gave active daddy? I just want to know. Like, and a lot of these men have multiple baby mamas. I'm talking 3+. Okay. What about this gave longevity, long-term relationship, marriage, commitment, active dad? What about this photo? Please tell me. Because us normal folks with brains, we can look at this photo and like, yeah, absolutely not. There's no way y'all looked at some of these pictures and some of these men and was like, yeah, he's gonna make a great father, for sure. There's no way. You will not lie to me. You will not lie to me. Absolutely not. Like, what gave active dad? Like, tell me. Like, to us normal folk, this is not a shocker. This is not a shocker. I just don't understand. What could these men have told you to make you assume that they were going to be present active dads? Because none of this give great father. Like, I don't understand. A lot of y'all were not manipulated. You weren't scammed. Y'all just messed around with losers unprotected and thought you were going to get an active dad somehow. Like, just look at the type of men you're sleeping with. Look at the quality of men you're sleeping with, and you thought you were going to get an active dad. I don't understand. What of these photos said come have a baby with me because I'm going to be active father to them. I don't understand. Like, is the father in the room with us? Is active dad in the room with us? I don't see it. You will not lie to me and say these men manipulated and scammed you. Because I can look at them and say, yeah, no, probably not. Probably not a good idea. Probably not a good idea. And mind you, these women posted the pictures of their baby daddies and stuff. So either y'all are completely blind and slow and you just sleep with anyone, or maybe y'all just hope and pray that the scammers and drug dealers that y'all love will somehow commit to you, because none of this gives active dad. Like, what could this man have told you to make you assume that he was going to be an active daddy? What could he have told you?
It's a fact. What could that nigga have said? You know what he told her? I got 3 baby mamas and 7 kids. And she said, ooh, that dick must be good. So good, I'm gonna let you hit raw. And she let the nigga hit raw. Now she's baby mama number 4 with 8th kid.
Anybody don't understand that? So now, when we talk about me and you, like the lady commented, agreeing to have a baby, right? I ain't no man. I'm the woman. The lady who made the comment, we're going to pretend as though you're my man, you my baby daddy. We sitting down and we're going to agree to have a baby, right? Now, I'm knowing if we're not married, meaning you didn't legally commit yourself to this commitment. If we separate, if I take being dick high and all in my feelings and I be an adult and be accountable, when I'm sitting down with this man, in this moment, he can be 100% agreeing, baby. If we have a baby, you know, I'm going to be there. I'm going to take care of mine. I ain't have my daddy in my life, so I'm going to make sure I be there for my kids. All well and dandy. But I know, with us not being married, the way the world works, when we separate, as the mother, I am going to end up being 98, 99.5% of the time, if you're motherfucking black, the custodial parent that has more of the responsibility. So my decision to have a baby is more of a weighing decision than yours as the man. Do anybody not understand that?
Give it that
Anybody
real.
not understand what I just explained? Any woman, the woman that asked me the question, because I'm still going somewhere with this.
They understand what the fuck she's saying. You see that? They even online trying to put up, like, you know, I figured out what they do. They know what they saying is bullshit, but they're saying it because a lot of times niggas just go with it. They know it's bullshit, but if you're gonna go with it, fuck it, I'm gonna say it. But when you stop it and challenge it, like this fucking like Love Dorsey did, now the chick is like, oh fuck, what is she doing? She's supposed to stay on code. She ain't supposed to say that shit. Yeah, because women will get up there and lie. They'll call these fucking shows and fucking lie, bro. They'll lie and just wait for you to go with the fucking lie. They'll act like they're fucking stupid, bro. They are stupid, but they'll act like they're stupid in a certain category. And then like you're just like, oh well, maybe she didn't know. They fucking know. They know. They just go and have their baby any fucking way. And
Y'all like embrace the accountability behind this shit. This grown folk talk. I had my baby for attention for the wrong reasons, and now it's hard for me to really stomach the idea of the fucking responsibility I set myself up for. Of the bills, the obligations, the fucking consistency I'm required to give.
that's right. Fucking right.
So, Sheikah, I don't understand what you're asking. You said, what about the man that did things differently after the child is born? I'm a mother who does it all alone, and I don't complain. It is what it is. I keep it pushing. I handle my business as you're supposed to, right? I don't understand the first part of your comment. What are you asking? Like, what was the point of mentioning what about the men that change after the child? I had no idea all that came with parenting till I started getting older and was young and dumb.
Young and
That's why I don't feel sorry for people. This is what I'm getting at. It doesn't matter why you had the baby, take responsibility. Absolutely. Yes, it's totally true. Now I hold myself accountable.
Exactly.
You got to own your role in your situation 100%. That's real shit. So, Tanisha, you said she don't even want to address the men no more. What would you like me to address?
see,
And I'm asking this very genuine because I'm talking to the females on here. Tell me what in the conversation that I brought up, what would you like me to address?
like, I'm gonna pause for a second. One thing they do, they'll go get themselves in a situation and blame you when the situation turns out to be shitty. Yeah, that's what they love to do. You don't notice that? You can have a woman and she'll want to go do something, and you tell her, nah, baby, nah, like I don't think that's a good idea because whatever, whatever. And she will, but she wants to do it. He's like, fuck it, go do it. She goes and does it. Comes home a couple days later, whatever, the next day, whatever. She's like, and she's mad. She's like, man, oh, remember that thing I told you about? Yeah, I did it, and so did this and that, and it didn't fall through, and now all of this is fucked up because this was. And you like, I fucking told you not to do it. You wanted to do it. Like some bitches just like to have drama to complain about. Like they like drama in their life. And what's more drama than having a baby by a fucking nigga that you know ain't gonna be there? It's a badge of honor. They could finally say, oh, well, I'm a woman now. I'm like my mama and my grandmama and my great grandmama and my aunties and my cousins. We grown now. Fucking stupid fucking dogs.
I want to know from y'all females, what is it about these men or baby daddies that you want me to address? I'm asking genuinely. I'm waiting to see. So Valencia, I got the idea, and you're calling it idea, so I'm using the word idea, but it's a fact that women aren't accountable because every time you bring up co-parenting, all you hear women do is complain about what they baby daddies aren't doing. You never hear women start the co-parenting situation off with what they could have done different or what poor choices they made. It's always and even right now, with everything I've said about accountability, there are women on here, they want to hear me talk about the men. So at this point in the live, I'm asking, what do y'all want to hear me address about dudes with co-parenting? I'm asking genuinely.
They just don't like men. I don't know why you fuck us and you don't like us. Man. I don't get it. I don't get that. That's my that's my question. Why, if black women hate black men so much, why y'all suck their dick, man? You suck their dick, you play with their balls, you lick their asshole, all that shit. But y'all turn around and say, oh, these fucking pookie niggas, but yet the pookie niggas banging you the fuck out. Explain, and then you have his baby. Explain that. Fucking bitches. Yo, I'm about done with the live, man. I gotta bring my blood pressure down fucking tight. Anyway, man, to all my subscribers, love y'all niggas. Boom. Hold it together. Let them bitches know 200 fucking black communities that was destroyed by these fucking crackers, man. They fucking hung us, burned us, drowned our shit, flooded it, built dams over it. And these bitches talking about, oh, y'all just weak and this and that. Bitch, 200 times, bitch? Got the nerve to call a black man weak? I slapped the shit out of one of them bitches. Later.